All right, so now we're back, and I'm going to show you how to attach the Goobric. So this is like the second part of our video for using Doctopus and Goobric to help you grade your essays, make things a little faster. So we've used Doctopus to pull in all our assignments. So you'll see first name, last name, student email. I wish the student emails worked, but they don't. I've deleted them for privacy reasons. You'll also see student folder. Nothing has ever come up here for me before. And then you'll see file keys. You'll see the file name. I can't delete that one, so I'm just going to kind of make it shorter so you can't see their last names. And then you see their status. They've either turned it in or they haven't turned it in. And then the date that it was last edited. I love this column because I can see which students went home and just tried to add something really quick, so I can then know to check their revision history to see what they were doing. When you put in a grade, it'll go here. Any written feedback you want will go here, and it will then go onto the student's essay, which is really great, or their assignment. To get to it, all you have to do is click on this link, and it will open up the student's work in another tab, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to attach our Goobric because we're grading an essay. So we want to use the Newport News rubric for that. So we've already got the the extension. Remember, this is it up here, our little googly eye for Goobric. And you'll see in my recents, I have the NNPS writing rubric. Because you haven't used it yet, it won't quite show up here yet. So you've got to search for it by saving it to your drive. Okay, so you pull up the file for the NNPS rubric. You just make a copy of it to your drive or save it to your drive, and then you will add it. If you want to do your own rubric, like I said earlier, you've made a rubric for a project. Maybe it was like a tic-tac-toe project or a one where students have to get a certain amount of points in order to get a 100, so they have to do different projects. This is great for that too, especially if it is a web-based project. So maybe you wanted to do kind of like a web quest or a scavenger hunt or like a lockout. You can use that for this as well. But I'm showing you how to do essays, so we're going to use the NNPS rubric. So all you have to do is click on that, and then you're going to have some options. So you can make the rubric viewable to students. I always leave this checked. It's very important to leave this checked because you want students to see why they're getting the grades they get and so that they can see the feedback in those boxes. Because those boxes aren't just there to take up space. When we put in a grade for those students, it's going to highlight that box for them so they can see, I scored a 3, I scored a 2. Why did I get those things? What is the criteria? What criteria do I have to meet to be in that box? And how can I get to the next level? So always leave that. Allow self or peer assessment. It's very self-explanatory. I turn it off because I'm the one grading it. So I unclick that. And then the last one is send an email notification to students. You can go ahead and uncheck that because, like we said, the students have Google accounts, but the email part of it doesn't work. We have that disabled. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach our rubric. Gives you some cute little things over there. And now what it is doing is it's going into our spreadsheet we've just created, and it is adding in this rubric. And what it's going to do is it's going to add some new columns to the big chart we've created. So you can see that it lets you see what number they're on, how many more they have left. It's moving pretty quickly, which is great. It also checks, it's like checking co-teacher sharing. So if you have more than one teacher in a classroom, like maybe you have a ESL teacher in the room with you or a SPED teacher in the room with you, or you want to share it with like your reading specialist or your writing lead, you can add them into that class and then they can see it too. I made an oopsie. Because I deleted the last name and email columns, it's telling me that I have to correct it. So that's easy enough because you'll notice, it's fine. It'll be all right. So now what you see over here are all the different categories that we have for our writing rubric, okay? So you'll see them over here, all the different sections. One thing you will notice is that the columns where the points add up, like the tally parts aren't in there. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to add in some columns, which is super easy. So you know the last three are all usage and mechanics. So that includes sentence formation, usage, and mechanics. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to sentence formation. We're going to go insert our column, okay, and that puts one before it. So this one we are going to put in is our total, what's the word I'm thinking of? So this is going to be our total, that's what I was looking for, total for composing and written expression, okay? So what it's going to do is we're going to have to add another column here as well, because then it's going to have to multiply it times 2. Forgot my left or right for a second, don't judge me. Okay, and then I just put times 2 because I know what that means. And then down here, I do the same thing. I put insert one right, and then I put total for usage and mechanics, and then I insert another one, and this is total overall. Now, just giving sections different headings isn't going to perform all the math witchcraft you need. So what we need to do is we need to add in some formulas. I have no idea what I just did. What just happened? Oh, okay, I just switched notebooks on the bottom, sorry. So what we're going to do is I like to wait until the end just so I can make sure I'm not messing up anything as I go. I go in and I put the formulas in at the end. So I'm going to show you how we use this to actually grade the essay so you can see what that looks like, okay? So what you're going to do now is you're going to go to assess this document. So I'm going to go to where it says assess document. Pretty straightforward, right? So you'll see this link and you're going to open it up. And now this is the coolest thing ever, okay? So, why do you, oh, yes. So it'll ask you if it can have access to your microphone. I click yes because I don't care. You can click no if you don't want to use it. But the reason it asks you for permission to use your microphone is because you can leave vocal feedback for your students, which is pretty cool, especially if you have students who are definitely audio learners. Like if you have a student, who is a struggling reader, but they respond really well to audio feedback. Like if you talk them through something, it's a really great option. Okay. So it is taking a hot moment to load up. Who is this? One of my students' essays. I don't know which one we're opening up. I think it might have been a student named Jabari. So we're just waiting for his essay to load. Usually the first one does take the longest to load. If it takes longer, then in a moment I'll just kind of close it out and try the next kid. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try going to the next kid. Here, let's do this one. We know this kid turns our essay in. It says turned in. All right, so I think this is Miss Lindsay. Good for Miss Lindsay. So you'll see on the screen, I'll already tell you what you're going to go ahead and see. So one of the first things you'll see is this little box over here in the top right-hand corner. There's some different things here, okay? Lindsay Undefined, that's her new last name. So it'll have the student's first and last name there, a box for you to type in comments, okay? Which is great. You'll see also email scores to the author. That's not going to help anything because they don't have emails linked to these accounts. Auto advance on the submit, which means as soon as you hit the submit button, it goes to the next student's essay. And then only add scored categories to the doc. I don't really know why you need to click this because you should be scoring all the categories. So the only one you really want to do is the auto advance on submit. It just makes it faster. If you don't want to, though, that's fine because next will take you to the next student's essay. Oh, in this box up here, I don't know why it's loading. I'm having technical difficulties. This is where the rubric will appear, and I will show you exactly what that looks like in part 3 of our video coming up in just a few moments. Thank you.